Hello everyone, happy Teachers Day. Here I am playing a role as a teacher and I am going to teach or present one Gothic tale, The Fall of the House of Usher by Edgar Allan Poe. He was the most unique or a famous American writer and as well as very famous for his Gothic fiction or creating horror type of atmosphere. This is the one kind of short story, The Fall of the House of Usher. This is also a Gothic short story, and this is the most famous short story of the Edgar Allan Poe. It is the masterpiece of American Gothic fiction, as well as considered as a classic piece of this Gothic type of fiction. And Gothic fiction includes the dark, strange, and melodramatical stories, which leads to something evil and occurs something horrible or a terrifying atmosphere. And the Gothic elements, which includes the horror, the supernatural, death, madness, hereditary curses, and medieval like setting. This all element we can see in this short story, The Fall of House of Usher. And first of all, let's see the publication of this short story, The Fall of the House of Usher. This is the first published in the Barton's Gentleman's magazine in the September 1839, and the tale of the grotesque and the arabesque in the 1840. And this is published during the period of American Romanticism. This is also known as the Dark Romanticism. And this story is the first narrator is the first person as well as the nameless narrator. He described the event as he saw them, as the horror or a terrifying atmosphere or as well as event occur throughout the story. He described as a horror kind of things, and this is occur in front of his eye. And this short story includes three main characters. The first one is the narrator itself, a friend of the master of the house of Usher. The narrator is the childhood friend of this Rodriguez, and he is a witness of terrifying atmosphere which is occurred throughout the short story. And the second one is the Roderick Usher, the master of the house and suffering from the depressing malaise. And his sister, Madeline Usher. She is the twin sister of the Roderick. She also suffered from the strange illness. This illness is regarding to our body is born, and she cannot walk as a normally. So while she walk, this is like a horrible or a terrifying kind of things. And let's glance briefly a summary. An unnamed person or a man who is going to the childhood friends who is suffering from the illness. And this is the whole structure of the short story is the depend on the Usher's bloodiness survival, as well as the Roderick's sister Maladine is also a unconscious form, and he accidentally entomb her while she is alive, as well as she is escape kill the Rodriguez, and before he die he caused the whole house to fall. So let's see the Gothic element in this short story. From the very beginning, when the narrator is arrived at the Usher's house, when she received the letter of Roderick to he is suffering from illness. So when he arrived at the house and he saw the atmosphere around the house is totally dark or even no sunlight, and this is like a horror or mysterious kind of things. And he also see the one crack which he think that this is something occur evil in this house. Or when he came to the house, he first see his friend Roderick's face like a pale or more like a death body's face. And after a few days pass, Rodrigue's sister Madeline is dead, and Rodrigue decides that he want to buried in temporarily in his own house yard. And after few days pass, they discuss about the paintings and frames in his house, but they can this discussion cannot gives them happiness. And after a few weeks pass, one night suddenly the storm arrived, and the heavy rain or more uh, more terrifying is there, and the Roderick is feel horrible, or even he cannot sleep. So he came to the narrator's bedroom. So narrator is attempt to calm down the Roderick by reading the book, The Mad Trist. Interesting. This is the story about one knight named the Etherland, who is a slay the dragon and who win the shield of a bright grass brass. And but while he as he read this story, they both are listen the same sound in this story. And after a few minutes, the Rodriguez reveals that her sister Meladine is alive when he burial. And uh, and the his sister Madeline is emerge from his tomb and confront on him, and he is also and she began to thrombling him and near to the death. And the house is begun to collapse. The narrator flees from this house because of his save his life, and the Roderick is a death. He and Madeline are consumed by the falling of house. So throughout the story, from the very beginning to the end, this display the Gothicism as well as the horror. And that's why the Poe is very famous for this Gothic technique. And Poe is generally achieved the literary achievement with his renovation of horror tales by entertaining by that means by struggling the blood. And from the very beginning to the end, we can see the house is a very mysterious kind of representation. This is the like one live person who is also a part of this story. And the house is a mysterious kind of thing, and the house creates the image of coolness where nobody can live. And he also described the house as a one live person, like window of the house is like eyes. And the Madeline's thumbling description is also horrible kind of description. And the very storm all the wall with the hanging of shield, as well as the clamor of the falling, and the slowly opening of the door. These all kind of elements or things which creates the horror kind of atmosphere for readers especially. And so that's why these tales is called the Gothic type of tales, because of from the very beginning to the end we can see every event is revealed as a Gothic or a horror kind of things. So this is story is a Gothic elements or Gothic story, as well as we can say a horror story. So thank you. This is all from my side, and you can appear in the test and get each certificate. Thank you. Happy Teachers Day.